So welcome to another game report. Today we'll be talking about you don't have to own your Grail Games. Now this came about because just a few days ago I played Polis, Fight for the Hegemony, and it became one of my favorite games. That and Sekigahara is very similar things, which is it's a war game that plays within 2 hours, decent rule set, great mechanics, and if you do know the theme, it comes out so well. It represents the situation, alright, of the theme, and it's not sacrificed just for game mechanics. You know, when you play it, that gives you options, history and with history, but at the same time the theme still comes out. Now I was really enamored with the game Polis, and I wanted to go get it, and I found it online for a very reasonable price, and I was about to buy it, alright, and I stopped. I took my own advice for another gaming pro video. I took my step back and I thought about it, and I didn't buy it, alright. And on top of that, also I remembered a tabletop bag about Rodney talking about, you know, his Grail Games with Necromunda and how he got it and now he's gonna play it and all. And also I thought about the reasons about that while I was thinking whether I should get Polis. And my conclusion is that you don't have to own all your Grail Games, even if you can get them. And these are the reasons why. Now if you're a collector, this doesn't apply to you because owning the game and even just displaying on the shelf is a joy to you. So for that, if it makes you happy, that's fantastic. But for most board gamers, I would think that playing the game is just as important. Just like how Watch It Play and Paradise have been talking about things like the 10x10 challenge and all. Alright? And that is actually one of the reasons why you should take a step back to see whether the game is practical. Like one of the biggest pitfalls, the first one I'm going to talk about is the great imagination of people. Alright? I've been guilty of this, whereby you think to yourself straight away of all the good times you will have playing that game, you know, all the great laughs and everything, and then you buy the game, and for all kinds of reasons, it never gets played. It just sits on your shelf. For a personal story, you know, I play in a regular group now, and one of the hosts is a very nice guy. He owns a lot of games. Many of them is war games and everything. But he also buys a lot of two-player war games, such as For the People and everything. And you know, we even arranged last time to play things like Hoplite and all. And I even printed out the rule book to read because I think, you know, we kept discussing about how we're gonna play these games over and over again. But the truth is, what happened, as I noticed, is he doesn't have much time to play and all. But when he does get time to play, he doesn't want to play the two-player war games. He wants to play these big, sprawling games with a lot of people, and you know, every game must be like the max player count and everything. And so when you do even arrange a two-player game, he's always like, well, can you get another person? So one of the mistakes that I don't make anymore is buying games like Polis or even Sekigahara, which costs a lot of money considering that shipping to Singapore almost adds 50% to the cost of the game. Alright, you could get so many other games, alright, that these war games that I want to get, I only have a few people I can play with, and like I said, the host over there, probably I won't get to play with him because the time he wants to play a big sprawling war game with 6 players and everything, and strangely all the other people I know that I can play this with already own the game. It just doesn't make sense to own it, you know, and that's what really I came to a conclusion to when I was looking at Polis. Now, I would state the first important thing is that don't let this become a habit of using this excuse whereby, oh, someone else is going to buy the game. Like I said before in one of my terrible tales of gaming horror, don't be a leech, alright? For me, you know, that I know I cannot, these few people that I play these war games with, they are significantly wealthy. So what I do is I because you can't stop them from buying something, you see. So what I do is I read rules, you know, on their behalf, that kind of thing. So they don't have to spend the time reading rules. I do what I can. I turn out when they are convenient to play games and all. You know, do your part. Don't become a leech. I just want to put that out there. Alright, because I never want to be a reason for an excuse for someone leeching. The second point is, do you have the right crowd? I remember when I first came back into the hobby, I bought Game of Thrones. Heavily negotiation based, and I love negotiation games, but I like the whole acting up kind of thing, you know. Even if you do bad acting or bad accents or whatever like me, I love to feel immersed in the world, you know. And unfortunately and this is my problem, when I play people, many, especially meetups and all, people don't act, they play it straight, when you ask for a resource or whatever, they say like, give me two money, that kind of thing, which, is not thematic in a way. So again, it's my thing, but I just don't get the payoff, and therefore, like I said before, you trick yourself into thinking that, oh, it's going to be this great fun times and all, and then you buy the game, and then the return is just not there. So thank God I learned the lesson early, from the crowds that I play with and everything, and I stopped buying that many negotiation games, because I don't need that many, and if I do find the crowd, then that is the time to invest in the games, because just like many times war games, you buy war games, there's no one to play it with you. There's no point buying it unless you're a collector. The third point is, these games, usually they're hard to find for a reason, and so they cost a bit more. And with the kind of, like with Sekigahara, I could easily get 1.5 games on average, maybe even 2 games, and so you can see the money can be arguably better spent. That's like if Rodney, from what you played, decided to get Necromunda, and he hunted down a pure, pristine, unopened copy. The amount of money he spent for, that he would have to spend to get that, I would imagine it would be quite a bit. And would it then be worth it? Because then once you get it, will you even dare to play it? Which is what happened with certain people. Only one person I know does that. He bought a game for $200 and he still plays it. I played that set even. And on top of that, that's another benefit to not buying these games straight up, especially if they're out of print and everything. It's because usually the game is good enough, it gets a reprint, and then you have spent all this money, and then suddenly the new reprint comes out with fixes a lot of the problems, and now you're left having to even buy the new edition. In conclusion, you don't have to own your Grail games, alright? Think about, seriously, like I said, take a step back and think about, is it a game that fits what you want out of a game? Is just own. If you're gonna get a Grail game that like example, a game like Unconditional Surrender, which is not out of print or anything, but it's like 50 to 100 pages of rules and everything, you probably are never going to table that game. But are you okay with it? If you can tell yourself you're okay with it, then and just the joy of owning it is what you want, then go for you. But if not, take your money and spend it somewhere where it will get played, which is, I think, like Will Wheaton said, the most important thing is play more games. So thank you very much. Till next word.